Don't you dare underestimate the power of your own instinct. Barbara Corcoran. Hey guys, thanks for joining me this week. I'm super excited to introduce you to my guest. Her name is Lisa Riggs. She's also known as the Sock Queen, and we're super excited to have you here. Lisa, welcome.
Thanks so much for the opportunity to come on the podcast.
For sure. So Lisa, tell us a little bit about what you've got going on at Spirit Socks and what you're about and what your company does.
Yeah, so we create custom socks, and I have a fundraising background, and so I really started this company with the idea of gearing socks as a fundraiser. So I worked a lot with schools and nonprofits, music programs, sports teams, everybody who just struggles to fundraise. And so I really geared it towards that in the beginning, and then boy, did we soon see that we could customize a sock for anything. And so have just expanded more. Like fundraising is definitely still there. That's a lot of my passion. But we customize socks for, whoever comes in. We recently, I'm trying to think of, we're currently working with, we did a wedding. We're doing some for a hospital, corporations, of course, nonprofits for breast cancer survivors. So like, it just runs the gamut. It actually makes it really, really interesting to be able to work with just across a variety of customers and just hear their stories.
I'm sure when you got started, did you have a specific theme in mind, or what led you down the path?
I've got 18 years of fundraising background at this point. And what I saw was how difficult fundraisers are. And even, t-shirts are a standard one, but you always have the sizing and the leftover box of sizes. And I saw people just throwing money at cookie dough so they didn't have to have it in their freezer. And I thought there's got to be a better way, right? We need to offer these people a value for what they're donating to the fundraiser. And so I had the idea to do socks. I was actually running the after school sports program. I was on our education foundation board, and I was running that program, and it's 90% parent funded. So I really was looking for something that would motivate the parents to donate each time their child played a sport, not just in the fall when the school year begins. And I thought, geez, socks could be we could match them to their uniforms. We could give one to the coach. There's just so many things we could do with it. They'd be the only kids out there on the court with matching socks, and how cool would that be? And it just exploded. So it was so successful. That was where I stepped back and, did the cliche, sit at the kitchen table with the husband, and was like, should I do this? And so I did. I built it from scratch, just from an idea.
That's amazing. And so I love that. And that's one of the things I like to talk to people about is, I did an episode about dreamers and how, I was reflecting one weekend about if there were no dreamers, then we're the inventors, right? The creators, and the thinkers that go out and, create our crazy ideas to come to fruition. And I've always been a sock fan. I'm a crazy sock fan person. So I like those weird socks, like pizza socks or whatever they are,
You are my favorite people. So yes. Thank you. It's great to hear.
Yes. And so I love that. And I love just even thinking about our own nonprofit and TBB, the Burning Bra, and having little burning bra socks and stuff. So there's endless of what you can do. So I love that, that you help, brought something that you knew from your background and were able to build upon it to create opportunities for others to be able to successfully fundraise. So that's really awesome and really cool. What's the craziest sock request you've had so far?
It was the weirdest looking mascot I have ever seen. It was half man, half dragon, half horse. And it was ugly. It was downright scary when I looked at it. And sure enough, they wanted that thing on the side of a sock, and they sold out. They loved it. Oh, I will have to think of the name of what it was, because it was even worse, but it was, yeah, it was, sometimes we look at things and we're like, okay. And so how can we make this fun? How can we make this creative based on what you've given us? That's our job. And so that's what we do.
For sure. I love that. And then I read somewhere too, when I was reading about your business, that you guys take pretty good care of the type of sock that you're creating, that it's not just mass produced from overseas. The quality is really important to you. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. When I had the idea for starting a sock company, I knew I couldn't walk in and compete with, Stance and Bombas and the big boys, right? And I also didn't want to open a sock shop, because while I applaud them being on every single corner because it makes socks more popular, that would just make me a dime a dozen. And so I really kind of took this custom route of, we're going to design it specifically for you. So I'm finding it's a little challenging. You know, it's a little bit harder than if I just was making cute pizza socks. But I like that we get that personal interaction with the customer. We make it meaningful to them. And if we're going to offer a product like that, quality has to be a key piece of that. And so we have, our athletic socks are thicker than most of the ones you'll find on the market. This is according to my customers, not me, because I pay the extra money to have a higher quality sock, to put the extra thread in there to make it more comfortable and more well-fitting. And so especially too, I am certified through WeBank as a certified woman-owned business. And I would never put that on my product if it wasn't a product I was proud of. I take that very, very seriously, and quality is the way it is. My business, it's basically like a one-time deal. Most of the time people are like, oh, okay, we want socks. And then hopefully they'll reorder next year. But right now I'm at about a 25% reorder rate for one-time orders. And the quality has so much to do with that, in addition to our customer service, which I take very, very highly.
I love that. So I can imagine during the holidays, you're really, really busy, right? People are getting socks for Christmas.
Yeah, actually, because they're customized in November is when we're really, really busy, because we want the people to have them for the holidays. And on the fundraising piece, a lot of our schools and organizations will do like a stocking stuffer fundraiser, because socks are the perfect little gift for any holiday we celebrate. And then it's nice to just bring in some money at the end of the year, and with something fun, right? With something people are probably going to stick in a stocking or under, for whatever holiday they celebrate anyways. So
yeah, and fun socks too, like even for the family gifts where you have to they're universal. So your socks you could use for female or male, and those fun gifts like the dirty Santa gifts and things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I've seen the pop-up sock stores that you're talking about, because I'm always like, oh, fun socks, but I can see during the holidays too, where I could totally think of my brother or some people that I could, create custom socks for. That would be really fun and awesome. But even on a wider scale, like you said, for organizations and businesses, I mean, everybody loves a good pair of comfy socks, right? Who doesn't? So
yeah. And, with a lot of corporations, a lot of the times they will give gifts at the end of the year out of gratitude, and so giving their employees or their clients, giving these to clients as a thank you, something that is actually, they'll enjoy, right? They'll be able to wear it. And it's relevant. Like, we all wear socks every day, unless it's super hot, but it's not another mug that you can't fit in the cabinet anymore. It's not another plastic water bottle that we're all just toss, it's something that's quality. And I work with my customers too about, if you're going to give this as a gift, let's think about who you're giving it to, and not just slap your logo on the side of the sock. Let's create a design that they want to wear. And I call it like subtle branding. Like, we can still put your logo on it, but maybe it's on the foot, or maybe it's underneath, right? And so it's there, so they remember you, but let's make it about them and really keep that focus. And then I think it just makes more of an impact for that client who's giving the socks as a gift.
you're totally right, because I've been approached by all kinds of salespeople all the time. But recently it was a cookie guy, and they did have phenomenal cookies. And I did order some. And what caught my attention was the custom branding, that the box that it came in, it was able to be etched in wood and mass produced and send these really yummy cookies out. But a lot of people are on diets. A lot of people are starting to eat healthier. A lot of people don't want cookies. So, I mean, that gives you another option besides just food related items that can be fun. And I agree with you, that subtle branding, and have something that's important to them, the touch for them. And that's what we did on these boxes, is we put their names on it. Instead of it saying the pivotal companies, it would have something that was, contributed to them. And it just really, that way they could use that wooden box for something else later, for storage or whatever. But I agree with you. I love that idea of that.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So I would say the number one benefit of giving socks is sizing. Because who wants to guess somebody's size? And for me too, whenever I'm an avid sports fan. And so I love getting free stuff. I love getting a free shirt or free stuff when I go to a game, and it's always a men's extra large. And so it never fits me. So I get the joy of it's free, I got it. And then, I'll never wear this. And so that doesn't happen with socks, right? Because they're basically one size fits all. And so whoever you're giving them to, almost every 99% of people are probably going to be able to wear those. And you don't have to worry about that awkwardness of guessing the wrong size or something very, very uncomfortable.
Yes. And then I read too, something I really loved about your brand that you do is you guys are giving back to the community. So you're donating socks as well. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Yeah, I donate 5% of my profits to providing socks to the homeless in this country. Socks and underwear are the two most needed items in any homeless shelter across this country. And if you think about it, they don't have washing machines. And so, and a lot of, unfortunately, the homeless don't have shoes. And so those socks get worn out and they get really dirty. And so I make it, it's the social responsibility piece is what's most passionate for me, about this business. And when I started the business, I said, I really want to make the world a better place. And I want to make sure I do good with, if I get successful, I want to make sure I give back. And so it's really key. And it's gaining in momentum. More and more companies I work with are really wanting to do things within their community. And so that's something I'm working with them on is like, yep, definitely. Let's take the 5% from your sale and let's donate to the homeless in your community. And if you have a specific shelter. And it's a much needed item. So I feel like it's the least I can do, honestly.
Yeah, I know. Where are you based out of?
I'm actually in San Jose, California.
Okay, perfect. So I recently went to California and my family in San Diego and went to stay in LA for a week just to kind of do the touristy stuff and see it. And the homeless population is just really heartbreaking. Even I'm in Arizona now and just seeing it across the US as my husband and I have traveled has been just really eye-opening, so I applaud your business for doing that. I love it. My heart goes out to it. I feel that way. Brittany and I, my oldest daughter and Ashley, we're always trying to think of things and ways to donate to other shelters. But if I haven't, or if you don't know, do you happen to know Amanda Banks?
I don't.
So she's on Sports to Suits and she's on LinkedIn and she was on a previous episode. You should look for it and watch it. But she really, I think there could be a really cool synergy between the two of you. So I would like to do an introduction to you two. But she's a previous athlete and she works with athletes, because once their career's up and it kind of expires or they age out, what happens to them? She's doing amazing things. So you'll have to look her up on Sports to Suits. But I could see some synergy between the two of you and some of the people that she's working with and fundraising. So that could be a really cool introduction.
I definitely will. Yeah. When I found out I was pregnant with my daughter, the first poster I hung in her room was Title IX. And so I've always been so much about, equality for females, but also, across all arenas and sports very much included, because I've been a mediocre athlete my whole life.
Better than me. I'm a couch surfer.
It's just fun. I have to try it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to order some socks and check them out. And then also, potentially look at connecting with you for TBB, because we do the t-shirts, like you said, but it is hard to fundraise for nonprofits, and especially during these times. But if people feel like they're getting a good quality product and they're getting something and they're also giving back, it's like a win-win, so it's like, yes, I can buy this for myself, but I'm also contributing to someone else. And I agree with you. The homeless, socks are one of the most needed resources. So kudos to you for doing that. If people want to order your socks, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Probably the website or email is probably easiest. And so the website is spiritsocksusa.com. Socks is SOX. And my email is pretty easy. It's lisa@spiritsocksusa.com. So yeah, just the SOX and then they'll be able to find me. They also can find me on LinkedIn. I'm pretty active. I'm active daily on there.
Same. What about if they want to order holiday socks? So I heard you say earlier, it's important to get them in November. For myself, because I'm a late purchaser, if I want to do custom socks, when is the best time for me to get on to have them in time for the holidays?
Yeah, we're actually going to start the holiday push at the end of August because, and it's busy right now because we do so many pink socks for Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October. And so we're doing that. We just really have to think like we're doing that in July. That's a hard push in July and August, just to make sure we can get them to everybody by late September, October 1st. And that same will follow through with the holidays, especially so we can I have a graphic designer on staff. She does all of the designing unless people want to do it for themselves. We're fine with that. And we can turn those around in one business day. And so we're really quick with that. But production does take a minimum of 4 weeks. In the holidays, it could be longer. with supply chain and the unpredictable shipping delays that who knows what's coming this holiday season, my advice to people is just the sooner, the earlier the better, the sooner the better, because if we can get them to you and it's a whole stress-free process, it's one less thing to stress about during the holidays.
Yes, for sure. For sure. Well, gosh, it's really been awesome getting to meet you and talk to you and kind of learn more about what you do. I see so many synergies. So I definitely will do an intro to you and Amanda. And, even if it's on LinkedIn, and I suggest you guys follow and listen to both of these ladies. Lisa's here with us today. Amanda was on a previous episode. Go back and listen if you didn't hear that one. And they're really cool and doing really great things. So I applaud you. I love meeting other women entrepreneurs out there, getting their hustle on. And, I know that it's a crazy journey, it has been for me. It's not taken exactly the paths or roads I thought it would, but nonetheless been an adventure for sure and a learning opportunity. So I want to, thank you so much for coming on this week and sharing with our guests. If you guys have any questions for myself or for Lisa, leave them in our comments in the messages below. And we'll be looking forward to hearing from you all. And thanks so much, Lisa, for coming out. I really appreciate having you on.
Thank you, Monica. I appreciate it as well.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Have a great week. Hey guys, if you like this episode, please hit like and subscribe.